All right, guys. So I figured out something pretty fucking cool. I mean, dude, this private server is so fucking legit. It's not even funny. So what they and I don't know, maybe this was something they implemented in the game later after I stopped playing cuz it was up a little bit longer. I mean, they closed this game officially like just around when Star Wars came out. So, this game anyway, so the private server, whatever, if they implemented it or not, either way it's cool as hell. So Disciple of Cain, and it's a mirror of Warrior Priest, they gave them shields, which is so cool, dude. Like, and by the looks of it, it might not be the best, but it's really interesting. Like if you compare this to a regular tank shield, like this is a black orc shield, if you compare this to that, you get considerably less block rating. And keep in mind, this black orc shield is lower level than the shield I got. And if you look, the black orc shield has 117 block rating, and then my shield only has 26, so it's basically nothing. Like I have 1% block by equipping this, and obviously I have 0 without it. It gives pretty good stats, but you know, I think it would just probably be on the same, probably lower, because this one's level 12 and the black orc one is level 10, and I'm only gaining one strength and one toughness over what the black orc one has. But what it also has is it has an effect. And from what I can tell is I looked at a couple of the different shields and they kind of all have a different effect to them. This one is your attacks have 4% reduced chance to be defended against. And I don't know what that actually means. I'm assuming it means like it'll go through block. Like it'll negate how much block and parry somebody has, and it'll like reduce that, giving you a better chance to not get parried or blocked. And that's just an assumption or a guess, but it's pretty cool. Like there's abilities that you get that require a shield. That's how I figured it out. I was like, why the fuck does this ability, I was getting my mastery points and I was like, what the fuck, why does this ability require a shield? And I asked an advice. They're like, no, it requires a shield. And I was like tripping out. So, and then I figured out how to get a shield, and nobody, you know, what's funny too is nobody really knew how to get a shield. I had to figure it out myself, but it is so cool that they implemented something like that. But we'll see how good it actually is. I put 1 point into the mastery that basically when you do damage, you get heals, and that's the same mastery path that has abilities that require a shield. So I'm pretty excited. Like I said, it's probably not the best, because I mean the chalice gives you, like if you think about it, the chalice gives you more of your resource. It gives you resource over time, so when you're just healing, that's probably better off if you're not going to be doing like anything. Like I'm sure in PvE where you're just going to be healing, the shield is going to be absolute duke. And with the with the you know, the dual blades, you know, the dual wield, you probably get a lot more damage out of that than you obviously will with one. And so you kind of don't, there's not really a good trade-off because you don't get that much block. And oh shit, I pulled 3. I should be okay, I hope. So you might be losing too much and it might not be good, but to me, like, just the fact that it's in the game and they changed it, like, and like I said, if they actually did the change, which I'm almost positive they did, the I guess you could call them the developers of the private server, which I mean they kind of are at this point. They're changing stuff, like it's making it to their own game, which is insanely cool to me. insanely cool. Like, for example, there's only 2 tiers in this server. Okay, I'm about to die. There's only 2 tiers on the server. There's tier 1 and tier 2. And after you get out of tier 1, you just have all the tiers condensed into one, which is really neat. So I'm assuming that helps with like scenario queue times and everything like that. And the server's pretty populated. Like, there's always at least over I don't know, around 200 people on almost always. And like I've seen like up to 700 when it's like prime time, I guess, which is kind of early in the morning for NA. I think most of the players are probably in EU. I think there's quite a bit of Russian players. I always see people talking in Russia. Or in Russian, sorry. So I'm guessing there's a good amount. So yeah, I'm thinking most of the game's population is in EU, but it doesn't matter. Like, I played with EU people before. They're usually, actually, what's funny is just a general dirtbag kind of way to bag on NA, which I'm NA. EU players are kind of almost better most of the time because they I think what it is it's kind of like they have more to prove. I don't know, but anyway, so it kind of has a weird prime time, and since I don't really do anything, it works out for me anyway. I can be on at whatever time I want. But anyway, like, so, but what's cool is just that they're changing the game in their own like way, which is really neat. Really neat. Yeah, so I just found that really cool. I wanted to show you guys exactly what I found. I was like, okay, so I need a shield. I was like, do I get a Blackguard shield or can I equip any shield? And that's not how it works. They actually implemented their own types of shields. Like, I think they even made, like, this is a shield right here. I think they even made that model. I could be wrong, but it's so cool. So cool. And right now it does seem kind of bad. It doesn't seem good at all. Because you just lose out on a lot. You lose out on the what do you call this? Soul essence. You lose out on the soul essence gain and other stuff like that. I'm actually gonna finish getting this PQ yeah, this public quest chapter fucking filled out, because actually it might not even be worth it. Actually, yeah, because that's way better. It's willpower, but it still gives strength and it's more armor and toughness. So I'll just finish this. But I just wanted to express to anybody who ever watches this, which will probably just be me rewatching my own videos, but it's just so cool. So cool. And yeah, I can't really say that enough, how cool that is that they're implementing their own mechanics into this game. So, and this private server went from, I remember playing it like a year ago. It could have even been longer ago than that. Like this, like you couldn't even get past tier 3, and a lot of the content was locked off and you just couldn't do it. They've done so much to this private server. It is actually insane and really, really cool. And I love Warhammer, mainly because like how much customization there is, and how much customization there is. You have a talent tree, which is pretty cool. It's honestly, it's probably the best besides maybe Rift. Rift is kind of like an overkill talent tree system, or what I played like way before. I was playing that before Star Wars came out, and then I stopped playing it. But the talent tree system in this game is probably the best because there's no branching trees, or there's no branching arms or anything. It's just a straight line, and you like, okay, so like the more points you put into that specialty, that tree line, essentially, the better those abilities become. And then you also have like new abilities and new tactics, or whatever these are called. You get, you know, stuff like that, and at the end there's a morale ability. it's just really cool. This game had really good customization, and that's what I like in an MMO. You know, I think people, a lot of, I don't want to say scrubs, but you know, like game journalists, when they think of like customization, they just think of like, oh, how many hairstyles are there? Unless they're like a decent, you know what I mean? Like they actually get the concept of, oh shit. What a trip. Um, if you know, they actually get the concept, but this game has like what is there, like 20, well, yeah, I don't know. There's like a ton of classes in this game, and they're mirrored on on per faction, but they have different mechanics. Like so, Shadow Warrior for Order is hold on. Oh, sorry. For Order, there's Shadow Warriors, and they're like the range characters. Like I guess you could call them the hunters, but they're more like marksman hunters in WoW at this point because they don't have a pet, but they're the mirror of Squig Herder, and Squig Herder gets a access to pets, which is like you'd be like, oh, they're a mirror, but they're not a direct mirror. And actually, if you think about it, it's like Squig Herder is a combination of White Lion and Shadow Warrior. And I don't know what you would say Shadow Warrior is. Maybe Shadow Warrior could be considered its own thing because, I mean, Shadow Warriors are good. They don't necessarily need a pet because Squig Herders, like where it's cool, like what I found when I played this before, what's cool about having a pet in this game and is you can like sick your pet on people and you don't really necessarily have to be in range to fight. So like if you're in a keep, you can just keep like sending your squigs into the keep and they'll just, you know, not shit on people, but they'll essentially poke people in there. And you know, that goes for White Line. And also in general, being able to be ranged is huge in like an RVR, World v World type situation, because that way you don't have to run facing into a Zerg, you can poke. And that's why like melee is sometimes I kind of find in these big World v World or RVR games, they're not always the most fun because you have to kind of charge in and you can die way easier and stuff like that. And I think that's why I like this game's open world PvP, you know, RVR over World of Your World and Guild Wars 2 is because Guild Wars 2 is like, well, you could say, yeah, the range on everything in that game is really short, especially compared to this game. It's like, it's almost a pain just to play that game sometimes. In this game, it's like everybody has insane range, you know what I mean? Like, melee are just melee, but you know they usually do quite a bit of damage, and you know there's ways to work around it. Like certain melee have stealth, like Witch Hunter and Witch Elf, they both have stealth, and you know they kind of have their own thing going. I think Witch Elf and Witch Hunter are kind of, I had a Witch Elf, and just the RP aspect of it, like if you look at Witch Hunter and then they have the pistol, right? And then with the pistol, they have those range attacks. Well, they kind of mirrored that on Witch Elf, but Witch Elf doesn't have a pistol or anything range. They just attack from range with their fucking daggers. It's so weird to me. So I just stopped playing that and stuff. I got her pretty high. She was like 32. I think I still have her. I can't remember. I have a ton of characters because I just like leveling in this game, and I don't get bored, but this was before they did all the tier condensing, and so it was kind of like you get to tier 2 or tier 3, it's like queues never pop. And I think I'm in tier 1 right now still. I can't remember when tier 3 actually, or when the next tier actually unlocks, but I think all the scenario tiers are condensed, so they might be popping quicker once I get into that that bracket. But who knows, maybe I'm already in it and the scenario bracket's just slow. Because the World v World is really fun in this game, you know, capturing keeps, roaming. It's just all around super fun in this game. It's sad that they never did anything to help this game out, like free to play. And I know free to play would have been actually probably pretty shit back then because pay to win wasn't even really a thing in a way to where like people cared about it because there weren't many games that were free to play. But if they, it's just so sad, you know. And this game came out around Wrath of the Lich King, and Wrath of the Lich King was like when WoW was at its peak. I didn't like Wrath. I preferred Burning Crusade. I basically stopped playing WoW as WoW after Wrath. Now I just play it because I get bored. And, you know, the arenas are pretty fun. But other than that, like, WoW has just never been the same for me after Burning Crusade. But that could also been, like, because I was a kid. And it was like those rose-tinted goggles or glasses, whatever. And another thing, though, is like the classic servers coming out. And I think I'm really aware of those rose-tinted glasses. But I think it's just a stupid decision to have classic servers. Like, for real. Like, you might be like, oh, well, you're playing on Warhammer. The thing is, Warhammer is not available anywhere. Why can't I hit this guy? What the fuck? Oh my god, I'm tripping out. There we go. So it's just really neat. And like I said, this is a private server, so you can be like, oh, well, you know, Warhammer's classic. 1 second, guys. All right. Sorry about that, guys. If anybody's been watching these videos, which I know they haven't because the only views on my videos are of me rewatching my videos. But if anyone does start watching these, you might notice I don't really edit my videos, like, at all. There was a point where I did edit just a little bit. Well, I did edit quite a bit, I should say, and then I just kind of was like, you know, no one's really watching these videos, so if anything, I'm just gonna record them, and if by fucking the grace of God somebody's like, yeah, I enjoyed these shitty videos, and I, you know, people start watching them, it'll be kind of cool. But, you know, at the moment, like, nobody watches. I'm the only one who watches them and stuff like that. It's really just kind of like an archive for myself, just something to do. But I don't edit these videos. I just kind of record them and upload them as I go. I just wanted to, my goal is to record basically everything I play, because I do play a lot of games, and, you know, I'm not like, if you look at the channel name, it's what is it, Bad at Video Games 101. It's because it's true. I play video games all day long, do nothing but play video games, and I'm terrible at playing video games. So I thought it was just kind of funny. So I guess you could say I'm terrible at making videos as well, but you know, it's still something cool for me to do. If anybody ever watches them, that'd be really insane. Really insane. I think I'm gonna get this. Sorry, I'm gonna get this PQ bar filled out, and then I'm probably gonna stop recording. I'm kind of a little burnt out. My dog just pissed in the house. I cleaned it up, and I think I should hang out with her a little bit. She might be kind of like bored and lonely. But yeah. So you know what? I might not even finish it. I think I'm actually just gonna stop right here. Thanks for watching, Self. You're a really good supporter. Just kidding. Thanks.